Hi everyone, welcome to your third telling time lesson. This is your Understanding 3 lesson, and in this lesson we're going to look at how we can tell time to the minute. Just like we looked at earlier, we know that there is 60 minutes in one lap of our clock, in 1 hour of our clock, and we looked at how when we're reading the minutes we don't look at our big hour numbers like the 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to think about what the minutes are in between those. So we know that in between each number is 5 minutes. And you can see on this clock here that it counts around every single minute on the clock to up to 60. So when we look at our clocks like this, we've talked about how it's really important if we just remember, if we count round in fives, that's the quickest way to find what minute we're up to. So number 1 would be 5 minutes, number 2 is 10 minutes, number 3 is 15, then we've got 20 minutes here, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then back up to 60. Today we're going to look at how to read time right to the exact minute. Okay, so if we look up at our top right hand corner here, I've drawn in 2 lines and also the 2 dots to just help us remember that when we are reading time, we read the hour first, then there's the 2 dots to separate, and then we read the minutes. So having a look at our example clock here, just like we've done before, we find which one is the hour hand, the shorter, thicker one, and it's pointing just past the 3, but it's not at the 4 yet, so the hour is 3. And then we need to find the minute hand and see where it is pointing. Now if I highlight, I can see that the minute hand is pointing today right to this little minute there, that one exactly. That's exactly where it's pointing. Now for the minute hand, we don't read the big numbers. We've got to think about all the 60 minutes that are behind. So just like before in our previous lessons, we know the quickest way to get to the minute is not to sit there and count every single one around, because that would take us quite a while. So instead, we use these big numbers to help us count round in lots of 5. So starting at the 12, we count round to the 1, that is 5 minutes. Now we go from the 1 to the 2, another 5, we're at 10 minutes. Now I can see that my minute hand is pointing at one of the minutes between the 2 and the 3. So I'm not going to keep going round to the 3 because we don't need to go that far. I've got to the 2 here and I know that that is 10 minutes. And then I'm just going to count on from there, from 10 minutes, to see how much further I need to go. So if I'm at the 10, I would count that that's 11 here, and then that is 12. So the minute hand is actually pointing at 12 minutes. Write it up in there. The time on this clock is 3:12, and let's check up here if we're right. Are we right? There we go, 3:12. Well done. Okay, let's have a look at this example. Just like before, we find hour first, then minutes. So we find the hour hand. It is in between 6 and 7. Now, we haven't got to the 7 yet, so it means it is still in the 6 hour. So there we go, 6 for the hour. Then we need to find the minutes. And instead of counting every single minute the whole way round to here, that would take ages. And we want to be able to read the time nice and quickly. Instead of counting all the way around, we start at the 12 and we count up in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now, have I gone too far? I have. Our minute hand's back here. So I only needed to go here to 25 minutes. And then I need to just count a little bit further to get to that minute there that the hand is pointing at. So if I'm at 25 here, I'd count 26, and one more, 27. So the minute hand is pointing to the 27th minute. That means it is 6 hours and 27 minutes, or the time is 6:27. Let's have a check. There we go, we are right. Okay, let's have a look at this one too. Now, this time you'll notice I haven't got up here the little lines and the 2 dots and the words to help me. So I've got to try and remember. What do I read first, the hour or the minutes? That's right, the hour. So I'm going to find the shorter, thicker hand. Here it is. And it is pointing here. Now, is it at the 8 yet? It isn't quite. It's pretty close, but it's not quite there. So that means it's still 7. So I'll write that hour, 7. Then my 2 dots to separate it, because I know I need minutes as well. I find my minute hand, the longest skinny one. It's pointing up here. Now, it's not the 9 or the 10. It's these minutes in between. And I'm quite a far way around this time. So just like before, we're not going to sit there and count them all because that would take us so long. We're going to start at the 12 and count up in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. I don't need to keep going because I've got to the closest one to the hand. So this is 45. I should know that the 9 is 45 minutes. And I need to get to that minute there on the yellow line. So I keep adding from 45. That would be 46, 47. And the yellow line where our minute hand is pointing is 48. So my minutes, 48. And we would read that time as 7:48. Let's have a check. The time is 7:48. Well done. Great work today, everyone. Give yourself a thumbs up. Well done.